Yeah, good morning, everyone. Today we'll be learning biomechanics part 2, that is on force vectors on human body. Now, force vectors. Always start when it is asked on force vectors of human body, start describing force vectors first. Let us describe and understand what is meant by force vector. Human body movement occurs due to muscle contraction and relaxation mechanism. Thus, force plays a major role in human joint movements. Now, these forces have certain rules to follow to cause movements. These are the primary rules of forces. Now, these primary rules of forces are three in number. Now, these are common from your 9th standard science book, 11th standard physics book. The same set of the primary rules of forces are applicable to human body as well. The first one is all forces on a segment must come from something that is contacting the segment. Anything that contacts a segment must create a force on that segment, and gravity can be considered to be touching all the object. Keep these three rules of forces in your brain in order to study the force vectors of human body. The first point. Whenever we talk about human force, the forces are divided into two types. One is internal and one more is external. Internal force means the force which are generated within by our own muscle is known as internal force. Example, human being walking. The second one can be externally generated force, where the force is not under our control. It is developed externally, acting on the human body. For example, someone pushing you down. As you can see in the video, that friend A got angry on the friend B and he pushes him off. Now, the pushing force developed by the friend A is the external, whereas the guarding force present within the person B is internal. He is not able to guard the amount of force applied by the person A. Thus, he fell into the water. Now, this force vector is represented by the object, that is the first one, where the force must act on something. We just now learned the primary rules of forces. If force is developed, it must act on something. Thus, an object is very important for the point of application. Second one is the arrow with the shaft of the arrow. The points can be denoted as so. The first one is the point of application. The second one is the arrow. Arrow suggests the direction. And the third one is the shaft. Shaft means the length of the arrow. That suggests the magnitude or amount of force. Now consider the same vector on the human body. That is biceps brachii, bending your elbow in front direction. Now this is the muscle of biceps brachii. Look at the muscle. It is bending this distal part into the front ways, that is forward ways or forward direction. So thus, if this is the muscle, the point of application is in the distal bone and not proximal bone. As you can see, the distal bone bends up, not the proximal bone. Okay, so moving object becomes the distal bone. Definitely, you can see in the video, the last distal part is moving, not the proximal one. Point of application is again the distal bone. The force is provided by the biceps brachii muscle. The force is definitely provided by the muscle, not by the bone. Thus, the direction is forward. That's it for today's video. Let us meet you in the next video. Thank you.